Hi, Mystery Recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a powerful war drama based on the true story of the youngest warrior of World War II, a 6-year-old boy who became a real hero. The film is called Soldier Boy. Spoilers ahead, watch out, this one's emotional. The story begins in Russia, where a small family of 3 is enjoying a peaceful afternoon by the river. The youngest, Sergei Alkov, proudly tells his mother and older brother about how he climbed a tall tree earlier that day. But their calm moment is shattered when German fighter planes suddenly roar across the sky. Sergei's mother quickly tells the boys to hide in the bush. But little Sergei, full of childish bravado, refuses to back down. He pulls out his slingshot, aims at a jet, and fires. Miraculously, he hits it in his dream and watches it explode. But when he turns back, his family is gone. Sergei wakes up in terror. It was just a dream. He calls out for his mother. A knock sounds at the door, and he rushes toward it, expecting to see her. Instead, a neighbor woman bursts in, panicked. She thanks God Sergei is alive and delivers devastating news. His mother and brother are dead. The 6-year-old can't grasp her words. He wants to stay and wait for his family. But the woman warns him that German troops have attacked, and he must run. Moments later, enemy soldiers approach. She pushes Sergei to escape through the window, but before she can follow, she's shot and killed. Suddenly, Sergei is alone, no family, no protection, just a terrified child in the middle of war. As he flees, he turns back to see his entire neighborhood engulfed in flames, calling for his mother again and again, but no one answers. He wanders into the forest, exhausted and frightened. That night, he curls up among the trees, whispering for his mother to find him. At dawn, he drinks from a river, but danger appears. Enemy soldiers are approaching. Sergei hides between thick tree roots, frozen as a snake slithers past his face. But he doesn't make a sound. He's more afraid of the soldiers than the snake. After the men finish eating by the river and leave, Sergei scavenges their leftover food and devours it desperately. Days pass, he's starving, weak, and aimlessly walking through the woods. He eats wild berries to survive. Suddenly, an explosion erupts behind him, knocking him down. Dizzy and hallucinating, Sergei imagines a figure following him. Even then, he stands his ground, pretending he has a rifle and shouting that he's not afraid. His small body keeps moving forward until he collapses unconscious. 2 Russian soldiers find him lying in the dirt. The scene shifts to a Russian army base where Commander Kuznetsov is waiting for his patrol's return. They arrive carrying the tiny, battered boy. At first, Sergei is cautious, but when they explain they're Russian soldiers, he opens up. He introduces himself like a grown man, even offering a handshake to the commander and insisting he do the same. His spirit immediately wins everyone over. The tough soldiers crowd around, giving him water and food. Even the usually stern commander softens toward him. A kind nurse named Katya tends to Sergei's injuries and is completely charmed by his personality. He even asks her to draw a tank on his bandage because he dreams of becoming a soldier one day. His lively presence lifts the mood among the injured soldiers. They laugh and talk with him as if he's their own little brother. Sergei is fascinated by the commander's pistol and badge, asking endless questions. Kuznetsov patiently answers and even lets him hold the pistol after removing the bullets. Sergei proudly shows off the tank drawn on his stomach, declaring himself a soldier too. He recovers quickly and the soldiers grow attached to him. Katya urges the commander to let Sergei stay with the battalion, but Kuznetsov refuses. It's too dangerous, he says, and insists on sending the boy to an orphanage for safety. But the soldiers can't let go. They bring him food from home, play with him, and let him use their binoculars. His presence makes the weight of war feel lighter. One soldier even pleads with the commander to let Sergei stay, explaining how the boy has become their little source of joy. Still, Kuznetsov stays firm. The boy will be sent away. Then everything changes. The next day, the enemy launches a brutal attack, injuring many. As the fighting continues, a vehicle arrives to take Sergei to the orphanage. The commander breaks the news and gives Sergei a wooden honorary pistol as a parting gift. The boy breaks down and hugs him tightly, saying he's scared the commander will get hurt. The commander's heart melts. In that moment, he can't let Sergei go. He decides to keep him with the battalion, not as a mascot, but as his son. That night, the soldiers are overjoyed. They scramble to find miniature soldier clothes for him. Kuznetsov wakes Sergei and presents him with a proper uniform. The little boy puts it on and runs around proudly, looking like a tiny warrior. The soldiers cheer, calling him their soldier boy. Their celebration is cut short by another German airstrike. The men rush Sergei to safety while they fight back. Dozens are injured. Sergei, determined to help, begins carrying water to the wounded. One soldier, his eyes covered in bandages, asks the boy to read a letter from home. Sergei doesn't know how to read, but he doesn't want to disappoint. So he makes up a story, saying the man's cow is safe back home. The soldier laughs and plays along, even though he doesn't own a cow. Everyone joins in on the joke. Sergei continues reading letters for the others, inventing cheerful stories to keep their spirits alive in the middle of war. In the next scene, we see Katya and the commander talking softly under the night sky. There's a clear spark between them, but neither is brave enough to admit their feelings. Meanwhile, little Sergei proudly declares to the commander that he's now the orderly of the battalion, introducing himself to everyone with that title. Soon after, he witnesses the station of a fellow soldier destroyed in the attack. The commander gently teaches him how to remove his cap and pay respects to the fallen, a solemn moment that leaves a deep impression on the boy. The next morning, Sergei insists on taking part in a real mission. The soldiers humor him and assign him to deliver letters across the camp. He runs from tent to tent, performing the task with incredible enthusiasm. When he finishes, he even makes the soldiers dance for him, turning the gloomy war camp into a moment of joy. A day later, while playing with his binoculars a short distance from the base, Sergei notices something odd, a pair of legs moving beneath a haystack. He sprints back and alerts the soldiers. At first they doubt him, but they follow anyway. Sure enough, they uncover 2 German spies hiding under the hay. Thanks to Sergei's sharp eyes, the spies are captured and the boy receives praise from everyone for his bravery. That night, the commander surprises Sergei with legal adoption papers. He's now officially Sergei's father. Overjoyed, Sergei decides to return the kindness. He knows the commander's feelings for Katya, so he tries to play matchmaker and pushes him to confess. But when they find her speaking to another man, they both misunderstand and sadly assume she's interested in someone else. Soon after, the base is struck by another intense German attack. Sergei rushes to help, carrying ammunition to the front lines with everything he's got. Eventually, the soldiers order him back to the shed. It's too dangerous for him to stay. There, he stumbles upon the commander and others in a panic. Their phone line to the colonel is down, and without it, reinforcements can't be called. A soldier rushes out to repair it, but Sergei follows and finds him gravely injured. With no one else around, the boy asks the dying man how to fix the line. Step by step, he repairs it himself. The phone crackles back to life, reinforcements are summoned, and this tiny boy saves the entire unit with his courage and quick thinking. Later, by the peaceful river, the commander finally confesses his feelings to Katya, asking her to become Sergei's mother. She beams with joy, but before she can respond, a soldier interrupts with urgent news. They're being dispatched to a new base. The next morning, the entire unit, including Sergei, sets off for their new post. But the journey turns deadly when they cross a minefield. Several vehicles explode, throwing dirt and fire into the air. The commander is injured, and the unit's orderly, who was close to Sergei, is killed in the blast. Sergei breaks down, hugging the commander tightly as the soldiers carry the wounded forward. When they reach the new base, they meet the commander's superior, a stern general. Impressed by Sergei's bravery and discipline, he congratulates the commander for raising such a remarkable child. The very next day, their division is awarded a Guards banner, and Sergei receives one too. With shining eyes, he promises to defend his country as the general pins a badge onto his tiny uniform. One night, disaster strikes again. The base comes under heavy attack, and the commander is trapped beneath rubble. Sergei screams for his father, clawing at the debris with his own hands until other soldiers arrive to help. Together, they free the commander. The next day, Sergei visits him, his hands wrapped in bandages from his frantic rescue efforts. The bond between the boy and the soldiers is unbreakable now. He has no family outside of them, and wherever the battalion goes, Sergei follows. The film closes with the regiment marching toward another base. A narrator explains that Sergei went on to participate in the Battle of Stalingrad, later reaching Poland with his unit. He became known around the world as the youngest soldier of World War II, a brave boy whose legend still lives on. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel.